Welcome to the Branding Rafi Podcast.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Branding Rafi Podcast. I'm your host, Hector Sanchez, and today I have my wonderful guest here, Mike Spank. How are you doing?
Good, man. Thanks for having me.
No, I appreciate you coming by, and I know you're a busy good dude, and I appreciate you. I've had you on my list for a while. I just had to make sure the timing was right.
Yeah, no, it's an honor, and never too busy for you and the Rafi team.
Yeah, thank you, bro. Thank you. Now, of course, I know you well, but for the audience out here, tell us a little bit of who Mike Spank is.
Yeah, so born and raised in Chandler, Arizona. I was rare. I'm 41 years old now, and growing up here, I always knew I wanted to do something special. I always had the entrepreneur itch. I think my favorite thing about school is back to school shopping.
Okay.
Laying out my outfits, my mom getting my clothes on layaway and couldn't wait to get them. And, just growing up, I always wanted to do something of my own that I could control my own destiny on. And, the day I could legally started working, I worked at a hotel cleaning dishes and just kind of worked my way up in the hotel industry. Spent 15 years in the hospitality industry. But during that time, I'm like, man, there wasn't anything repping AZ in a positive and fashionable way. And I used diehard sports fan, go to Cardinal games at Sun Devil Stadium, and most of the fans be the opposing fans. And there wasn't any sense of culture or pride. And it wasn't like a negative thing. It was just we're such a young state.
Yeah.
And no one was from here. My family was from New York. Again, I was born and raised here, but everyone I'd go to high school with, want to explore opportunities outside the state. I'm like, well, it would piss me off. I'm like, where the hell is our sense of pride, we had the corny 3 for $10 Walgreens shirts back in the day, and that was our souvenir, AZ type of shirt. And I just hey, let's. I
think I remember though.
Yeah.
They still do them, right?
And no disrespect, but it was just there's a reason why people keep moving here. Is we're much more fashionable place than those tees. So, we were lucky and we were the first company to ever create the name State 48 and trademark the name State 48. Now there's 100+ organizations, but that's where the passion came from, is just wanting to create something positive and fashionable that could just, really create a difference in my life and so many others. And for us, it's become so much more than just selling t-shirts and hats. So that was a very long-winded kind of intro, but that's a little bit about who I am and how I'm fired up about just representing our hometown.
Yeah. No, yeah, and of course the brand itself, it's very intentional from what I've seen. I like how much collabs you guys do. There's always collabs popping up here and there. I think you guys did, was it Sushi Friend not too long ago?
Yeah, we worked with probably 1,000+ organizations that we were beyond grateful.
That's how I was going to ask you. How many brands do you guys have a set number of let's do this much a year, or just kind of...
The cool thing, man, we started in a spare bedroom at $1,500, didn't know what the heck we were doing for the most part. And at first it was just let's create, swag that is Cardinals inspired or Suns inspired or just a cactus or whatever. But we got lucky with a main logo people wanting. And then the more we kept building our brand that was really based on, great people and just doing things the right way, we were so fortunate enough to start working with so many great organizations. Bruce Arians, the first kind of big name that took a shot at us, and then we really gained a lot of credibility. Started working with the Diamondbacks and Phoenix Children's Hospital, and then that's really became our number one thing we do at State 48 is I like to say create stories on shirts for other organizations. We're so thankful to work with you all, and it just gives another twist of whether organizations are going to use as fundraisers in elementary school or nonprofit, or they want to just give them to team members or marketing assets. That's where we're so blessed to be able to do every day is again, a dude that started with nothing with 2 buddies and never thought we'd been in business together. The fact that we've done, work collaborations with Intel and our favorite sports teams. And even, man, it was unbelievable that a girl picked us last year for her Make-A-Wish. That's the kind of impact we're making in Arizona. And it means the world to me that so many organizations and people believe in what we're doing.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. I honestly didn't even know that. When did that happen? Yeah,
that was last year, man. Her name was Sutton, and it, when we heard the news, I almost cried, and it's no, nothing wrong if I did, but it was just oh my God, the hard days go by, and you're just this young girl, 10 or 11 years old, Sutton, picked us. She could pick anything in the world with Make-A-Wish, and she picked State 48 to make a custom shirt. And then what was really cool, which I'm so proud to even know her, is she decided we created this collection and we sold on our website, and then we donated all the proceeds back to them. And she decided to send that all back to Phoenix Children's Hospital. Right. So, I mean, she could have kept that for herself and would have been like, heck yeah, do that and take care of yourself. But, like, someone so thankful what Phoenix Children's Hospital did for her and saved her life. Yeah. It was just unreal that we got to experience that and got the privilege for it to be chosen as a wish. Yeah, no, that's amazing. I know we do a lot of stuff for value wise and stuff like that, and just going and seeing all the impact that of course, like your brand, Rafi brand does. It's very, very touching. It makes you feel good. Yeah. Well, and I mean, you guys lead by example out here of all the great things you all do, and I don't think people really understand the impact you or anyone else is making until you really get to meet the people right behind these organizations, and like going to visit Valleywise or Phoenix Children's Hospital or Dignity Health or Make-A-Wish or whatever, any corporation. There's so many great organizations and people doing amazing things here that we should be very proud of. Mm-hmm. And I don't think you really get to understand how serious things are. I mean, it takes $1 million a day for Phoenix Children's Hospital to operate. And the things they're doing for the kids that, God forbid, have to go through these things, like you don't really get to like truly understand what all these organizations need until you really get to know the people. 100%. Now, going back to you, before State 48, I know it's a big company and everything. What prior jobs did you have before that? Like, what were you like growing up? Yeah, again, I like to joke and say I retired from sports in high school because I'm like, I want to pursue my entrepreneur journey or just business because, like, I've always had to buy my first car. I had to always, anything I wanted to do, clothes or whatever, like, I had to take care of that. And I appreciate my parents for like raising me that way. We didn't have much, so it's like, hey, if you want something, you got to go earn it. Mm-hmm. So like the day I legally started working, I worked at a residence in my Marriott by Chandler Fashion Mall. I was working on the weekends, cleaning up after breakfast, and I was just so thankful to make some money. And then I quickly just kept growing, up into the hotel industry, and eventually became a GM. At one point. But it was always like the operations. I just kept growing, and I've always loved people, and that's a big thing that we implement at State 48 is hospitality. I never want to be transactional. I want people to know like we really give a crap about them, and we're so grateful for every dollar that's spent with us. So that's like near and dear to my heart is the hospitality, but it was always hotels for my entire life, and when we started State 48 in 2013, myself, Stefan, and Nick, like we all worked full-time jobs the first couple of years, didn't take a dollar out of the business. It took me like 3 years, going back and forth between still managing a hotel and getting State 48 going until I could go full time. And that was like one of the best feelings ever of just being able to like, pursue something that I'm like so freaking passionate about. And what we learn more and more is the more you invest into yourself and others, it continues to grow. Yeah. Now I can see where, like the hospitality comes from. Yeah. Because every time I go to, your guys' shop, I always feel like it's very like welcoming. That's how all the people are dope. And then even at the foundation with the casino night recently, like just showing up there, like everyone was like, man, thank you for coming. And like, I really felt like it's like a big family of everyone just like showing each other love. So now I see, relating the hotel to it's great. Well, and I love hearing that because it truly is like for me, it's about the people over talent all day, right? Like I want someone who's going to join the team who has a big heart, that has an old school work ethic of like, because we're still building, we need everyone on the team to be, and it's really like gives a shit about people, right? Because if you don't, you could see right through that. And I think those are the skill sets you need more than ever because, in a couple of years, technology is going to be smarter than all of us humans. It probably is way smarter than me right now. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. But like you'll have everything at your fingertips. Yeah. Like, so it's kind of like not jealous, but like anyone young and building, that's freaking amazing because if you could just have the people skills and people, like I think the biggest part of life is like, do people actually want to hang out with you? Like, are you cool? Can you add value? Like, that's probably like, can you trust them? Can you have integrity? That's probably going to get you further than most people if you have those skill sets. So, I preach every single day at our company and organization about going above and beyond. Not everyone we know, everyone's could be good. But like, how can you be really great and make someone's day? And that's not to be corny. It's like by just having a conversation outside of how are you good, that kind of stuff that we all get used to just saying. Yeah. But like, go deeper. Like, what's the best part of your day? What are you most excited about? Like, what are you challenged with right now? And then you could build some real like meaningful conversations.
100%.
And it's like when people come to store, we don't like train retail to really like have to hard sell anyone. It's just like, let's talk about the day. Let's talk about your favorite team. Let's talk about the holiday, plans you got coming up. So that's how, and same how it operates throughout our organization with the nonprofit, for-profit. Like, I want everyone to have fun, but like build genuine relationships, because it makes it that much easier to sustain anything.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, no, I think I went maybe a couple months ago and checked out the whole warehouse and how everything was done, and everyone was so nice. Even I think there was a girl that had just barely joined the team like 3 days ago.
Probably Peyton. Yeah.
Yes, that was her name, and she was amazing off rip too.
Yeah.
She was cool. But yeah, no, I definitely felt that.
Yeah, and that's and when people come in, they feel the culture. There's got to be music on. There's got to be vibe. Like, there's got to be having fun. Like, we got to get shit done, but also like you need great people around you, whether it's vendors or partners, to really like go to the next level. And that's why I'm so passionate about like collaborating. I feel like we were collaborating before it was like the trendy thing to do, and I'm not knocking anyone who wants to collaborate now, but like I remember advice I got from my buddy Scott Harkey, OH Partners. He's like, man, I think if you keep doing these collaborations, it's gonna dumb down your brand. And I'm like, no, that's who we are. We're not trying to say we're the most fashionable. We're not Devereaux. We're not Guest List. We're not this. Like, we're just putting on for our hometown and the way we know how to do it. And that's what separates us, is like the collaboration piece. Like, we get to work with corporations. We get to work with nonprofits, like big, small, and we're getting better and better on the retail side, but that's not even like the number one thing we do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I mean, as far as like, you're bringing up all these other brands, besides your brand, what other brand do you gravitate to here in Arizona? Like, what's one of your favorite brands? Yeah,
I mean, Iron Will, there's just so many great Guest List, Devereaux. I mean, Bad Bird, even like I love seeing people be successful and win. Like, I think you could always pull nuggets, and like you should be working smarter and harder and collaborating, right? Like, we have a collab conference we put on, in the state and also outside the state, of how do we work with other D2C brands that are also, faced with the same challenges and trying to figure things out. And like, I've learned so much, even like, Dad Gang, getting connected with them. Like, there's so many like cool, great organizations doing amazing things. And like, you could, as long as you stay true to yourself, stay true to yourself or the brand, you should always be like wanting to like pour that information out to like someone else to be able to utilize. So those are just a few. Even outside the state, like Kith is one of my favorite brands, and like I could see that vision for State 48. They're that brand, I feel like, for New York, but they do such a wonderful job of collaborating, and I
can see that,
the quality and just like how I'm like, man, they don't miss.
I feel like have you seen ALD too?
Yeah.
I went to go to New York. I went to New York, I think, like a year ago, last year.
Okay.
And I went to go check out their stores, and I mean, it's crazy how they do things over there.
Yeah, and that's where we had 4 retail stores at one point. We closed 3 out of those 4 last year, and that's why I've always been so passionate and bullish about retail, because like you could provide some sick experiences that people actually want to go to. We just have to do a better job of like giving the people what they want, or giving a reason for someone to get off their butt in 115 and come to the store, right? But we've really taken a step back to really, in order to scale up and focus on like what's doing well for us.
That's what I was going to ask you. I think you guys were renovating the store down there.
Yeah, it's completely renovated now. Okay. So that's a benefit of closing 3 stores last year, is we had a lot of beautiful fixtures that we could use, and I'm always believe in just continuing to invest into the product and the systems in our store. So it's amazing now. It's in a commercial business plazas you've been to, but that's our OG spot, and that's where we started off. So that's where it was near and dear to my heart to stay in Chandler. Just to like, that's where our roots are from, and it's a beautiful store. But people come in there every day to like pick up their online orders, their collaborations, and then they could touch it, feel it. There's a lot of great products, and I think when people get to know myself or the people behind the brand, they're like, okay, I rock with State 48. Like, they do some good stuff. So yeah, I need to go check it out since it's been remodeled. Yeah, it's a way better setup. It's just easier. It's just a better experience. It's dope.
We'll line it up where we go have a lunch out there.
Yeah, please. Yeah,
you got to put me out to some spots out there.
I got you. Yeah, do you like Italian food?
Yeah, right. No, pasta, man.
Pestos. We'll go to Pestos.
Okay. I'll definitely put you on to that.
Okay.
Now, I mean, as far as Arizona, of course, you're from Chandler. What city out here do you think is underrated?
I mean, I've always felt like myself and Arizona in general are underdogs, right? Like everyone's sleeping on Arizona. Now it's cool. Like I get so proud when you see TSMC investing billions of dollars into Arizona and so many great organizations and people moving here because they're catching on. Like I felt like it was always like the land of opportunity. Instead of people exploring opportunities in New York and Cali and all great places. That's why I'm lucky. Like we started when we started, because I wish we would have started earlier, because we got this kind of jump start of like being that local brand for the people, right? But to answer your question, I don't know. I feel like, everywhere, but like it's cool to see the West Side. I feel like East Side's always been slept on. Like people that grow up in wherever, they're like, "What's in Chandler?" I'm like, city. Like I know a lot of, but even look at Queen Creek blowing up. The West Side now. Just everywhere.
Verado.
So yeah, I think there's what's really cool too, because when we did First Fridays back in the day, it was a dirt lot. No one wanted to be there. Like now you have like a really, I feel like a very strong culture here in AZ of different pockets of all over, from people from all over, which is a beautiful thing. So I think you can get those nuggets from all different parts of the city. Like everyone kind of has their own like flavor a little bit.
Yeah. We recently opened up an office in Yuma.
Okay.
And it was like my first time out there. And I love Yuma now. I'm like, it's dope going. It's like a mini Vegas. That's what I'm calling it.
Yeah, the only time I ever went to Yuma was either you're driving through to go to Cali, but actually my one of my best friend's younger brother, he was in prison up there for like 10 years, and we'd go see him every month. And just a great kid, made a bad mistake, but like I always remember just that trip going to Yuma and just really hitting the McDonald's. And so I'm sure there's much more there now, but yeah, I think these small towns are really cool to highlight. That there's so much history here, even Route 66. Like we just worked with this local artist, Bob Bosbell. He's 80 years old, one of the most interesting mans in the world. And he grew up there, and he just has all these stories of the Wild Wild West, and it was just like Tombstone, and just like there's a lot of cool history here. It just needs to be told.
Yeah. Now, for the local brands out there that want to potentially collab with you guys, how does that process work? How do you guys go through it? Do you guys have a meeting, or do you guys pick a certain thing? Or
no, great question. There's a couple ways, because we really evolved to like become that one-stop shop for all apparel and design. So if you want to collaborate with us and do like a custom design, co-branded design, and we never force it to be predominant Stay 48. Just a lot of organizations like that. But essentially, if they're like, yes, this all makes sense, it's a minimum order of 50 shirts. We make the process really easy, and then we would have them fill out a creative brief, and then our design team essentially works for them, right? Like we'll pitch ideas, love it, hate it, tweak it, we'll get to a design they love, and then we sell it to them at a wholesale price. They could do what they wish with. That's like the most popular way like people work with us. Whether they buy 50 shirts or 20,000 shirts, like the more you order, the less expensive it gets. Or if people just want to manufacture with us, most people don't know this, like we could do their screen cream, we could do their embroidery, we could do their design services, like we offer fractional design services. So let's just say an organization didn't want, or an up-and-coming entrepreneur or small business didn't want or have the means to pay for a designer or something, like we could dedicate one of our designers to help them at a fractional cost. So like we're really trying to grow our B2D side of like anything swag or design. We just want to be considered to be an option, and people to know that we could help. We get to help develop products overseas. We got manufacturing relationships in Vietnam, China, Colombia. Like it's really cool to build that, so we could do much more intentional products like we do with Vic. Yeah, those hats can't be made here, unfortunately. So like that gives us like a level up to like be able to do some cool shit.
How does it make you feel like when you take these trips up? Because I've seen you go to, out of the country, check out spots. How does that make you feel? Like you're like,
dude, it puts life in perspective for sure. Like you going to Vietnam, man, like the annual salary there is $15,000 a year. And you go to these factories and people are busting their ass. And like we complain about like respectfully the dumbest things, and people are like, hey, I just remember this moment vividly when I was in Vietnam, that he's grown men just playing soccer and just like like they're playing hacky sack, and they're just having the best time. And it's like it's like kind of reminds you of how great we have it in a way. Yes, we have our daily challenges and we're all going through stuff, but like I don't know, going to factories, it really makes you appreciate even like what we do every day. Like it's on the average, it takes 35 to 40 steps to make one hat. just a blank hat, right? So like that is a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. And like when we sell shirts and hats for $34, like the fact with lifetime warranties, like the value is insane. So you're supporting great also. Yes, we're a local brand that does most of our stuff here, but like when we can go support, Columbia, the factory we work with in Columbia, it's one of the largest employers there. They have 1,000+ team members. It's 98% women that work there that help with a bad upbringing. So like they're helping them get on their feet. So there's a lot of beautiful things about working in other countries, and it just allows you to get great prices in order to like give the community great prices. Mm-hmm. It's like, it's kind of how it all ranks out, right? I could do everything local here and be way too expensive, and now you're buying a hat for $50 to even make sense for us. Like, we want to always make it affordable, but that's been the coolest thing, is not only to experience new cultures and new styles, but just really to appreciate all the hard work that goes on outside of our country, and even in these states. Of anyone working on the labor side, even everyone that works with us on the screen print embroidery side, it takes incredible humans to get their hands dirty, work hard on that stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I've seen you post when you go out there, and it looks amazing. And
yeah, I love I love fashion, and I love just how you could see a vision come to life. And I just love that we have the capabilities now to really to level up our game. Because when I look back on our journey, like I cringe at a lot of our stuff, but like that's how it should be done. Like you should keep getting better, and like you need sales in order to get better. We didn't start off with any capital resources or anything, so we had to keep investing everything. And we were crushing shirts for forever in our back, in a back room, and just like the quality wasn't as good. But now the way we continue to level up is something I'm really proud of.
No, it's amazing. I mean, I can tell.
Yeah. The passion comes out of me when I get to talk anything about work or the community or the foundation, because I'm always really chill, but like I just love what I get to do.
Yeah. Now, how did you get connected with Rafi Law Group or Mr. Rafi? Did you guys mutual friends or?
Yeah, great question. I think it was probably just being out and about in the community. I'm trying to remember that one moment. I know Gabe and I met many years ago, and it's just like anything. Once you get to, connect with great people, you got to meet this person, you got to meet this person. And like, next thing you know, thankfully we were able to start working with you guys both on the for-profit and nonprofit side. So I'd have to think about like the exact moment, but it's definitely just being involved in the community and, getting to know Brandon a little bit. Like that guy's a gem. And really, I think we randomly talked at one event years ago, and just even learning about his story of like being in Tucson and having nothing and building what I'm just like always in awe of the builders here, because I know how much sacrifice goes into building anything. And it can get very lonely. There's a lot of like challenges in entrepreneurship. So like when I see people and organizations build something that has thousands of team members, hundreds, even 10, like that's always impressive. And that's our economy. That's what most of it's coming from. So I'm really proud of Brandon and all of you guys for doing what you're doing, because it's so much more than being a insurance provider or attorney provider, right? Like it's you guys are really putting your money behind the community, and that's been amazing to see.
Yeah, I know, and I always tell everybody, I'm like, we try to help out as much people as we can. Not every case is a good case, but we take chances on cases, and there's some attorneys out there that don't in a sense. But that's something that we do, and that kind of goes unnoticed. And it's not nothing that we put out there either. Like, hey, we take chances on cases, but if someone comes in and says, hey, I got rear-ended, and I remember the license plate number, I don't have a picture, but we'll still try to help out.
Well, and that's the thing. No, you could never, I'm just at peace. You can never expect anyone to know your business, and rightfully so, right? Like people don't know what goes behind the scenes, they know the billboards and everything you guys are doing. But like, there's so much, like, until you really, and that's where like our world needs to be better at, like, not judging people or whatever. Cause like, until you're walking those shoes or understand the risk that, you just mentioned of like taking on cases, like, no one, or cash flow, like there's so many like challenges in business, and until you walk those shoes or understand it, I think everyone should reserve any type of judgment until you get to know the people. And another thing with people, it's like I want to rock with people like I get to know and talk to, and like that's how I know I can, like, okay, those are good people. And you guys are all freaking amazing over here. Like I love, everyone loves you guys.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. Try to be, we try to be good people.
Well, you're just being yourselves, and that's one of our core values is being authentic. Like, we bring people in for them. Well, the minute you're BSing someone or yourself, like, what, you're not doing yourself, justice, right? Because everyone has their own special power. And it's just really cool. It's refreshing, even walking into rooms like this and offices like this, where like people all have fun together, and it's never going to be perfect. But the fact you guys all hang out outside of work, and like, that's a beautiful thing. That's cool. That shows you guys have a real culture and people that like, you put the right people in the rooms. Yeah.
Now, I know you brought up the foundation not so long ago.
Yeah.
And we had you guys had the casino night.
Yep.
How does that, I guess what I'm trying to say is, how do you guys organize that? Do you have a team, or, because it was a pretty big deal, and I loved the event. Like, everything seemed so smooth.
Yeah.
And I know we put on events, so I kind of know the background of what it takes. So how do you guys do it? Do you guys plan it 6 months ahead, or how does everything work?
It's events are a huge lift. And, I'm so proud of our team now, and even the past team members that's got it to where it is today. Our foundation's been around for 6 years. So State 48's the for-profit. State 48 Foundation's our 501c3 that started in 2020, and I just had this vision of like, I want to do more in the community. I want to say yes, like, because people reach out to us all the time and say, hey, can you do this, can you do that? And like, you could really hurt your for-profit business by doing that. So on the nonprofit, like, hey, we're born out of entrepreneurship. How do we help others that are like, striving to be successful and creating some of their own to be sustainable and not make the same mistakes we have all made? So we've, all the events we do are free. It's programming. It's bringing different leaders and experts together to kind of pay it forward. We've given out $200,000 in grant funding. We're going to give out at least another 50 this year. But I think what's the most powerful thing we're doing on the nonprofit side is like building these rooms that give to give. Like the entrepreneurs, the partners, like people in there, like, man, this is cool. People from all different backgrounds, ages, like, we probably serve more women entrepreneurs than any, and it's just a really beautiful thing when you could bring people together in our community to help each other. Because like, hey, let's not all make the same mistakes we did as entrepreneurs, or like you could only run them out of money one time. But to answer your question, we do a couple big fundraisers in that charity casino night. It's a monster. Like, it took we have 3 amazing ladies on the team. And we have a whole board of 15, have a bunch of volunteers and partners that make it possible. But like, if you were to ask them, they'd be like, oh my God, it takes so much out of them. But they did an incredible job. And we had 400 plus people there. And we raised $176,000, or netted about $70,000. So all that money that we're able to raise through that fundraiser, our tattoo fundraisers, is able to go back to supporting local entrepreneurs. So long-winded answer, but like, it's a beast, and they just knocked it out of the park. Every event we keep doing, it keeps getting better and better and better, and it's like, kudos to our team that's doing it, because I'm not even as involved anymore. Of course, the vision with the nonprofit, but I've always been so thankful for everyone on the team on the nonprofit side that's like really bringing this vision to life.
Which, by the way, that was like my first time playing like really organized poker. I won the first hand, and after that I lost it all.
Dude, I'd be
downhill.
I'm so glad I'm not a gambler, because like, I would, especially sports, I would just bet on all my Arizona teams and probably lose all my money. But yeah, I've never actually dabbled into like the games, but what's cool and what you saw is like, there's some serious poker players, because we have the poker tournament, and then we have casino games for people just learning, but also you would think millions of dollars were going around, that were up for grabs. And then we had like, the tattoo, flash tattoos, permanent jewelry, floral bar. The golf simulator. We really try to like, when we think about putting on an event, like, do I actually want to be here? Like, and if you could have all walks of life come in here, how can they have fun? So glad you had a good time, and we'll keep getting better and better with that event.
No, that was a banger. I think Kyle was walking around filming, which, by the way, that was a dope video that you filmed.
Oh, the team. Shout out Logan.
Oh, was it Logan? Yeah. Well, shout out to Logan, man.
Shout out Logan.
AI Logan.
Yeah, AI Logan. No, so another question I wanted to ask you, I know you guys help out with the organization, a lot of like small businesses. Is there a business that, stands out that like has been really grinding or doing good? that you guys helped out?
I mean, so many. And we're never like, we never take credit for like, oh, it's because of us, right? Like we're just a small piece of it, whether that's grant funding. I would argue that you get more value being in these rooms and connecting with people than, I mean, Kyle's connected with so many great people. Just being in these rooms.
I can attest to that.
Yeah, to share your experience, so it's not me.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's just being part of the foundation, like the amount of organizations that are in the room that are like actually building real tangible, like especially, I think I started my business around the time the foundation was kind of starting too. So like getting to grow with the foundation and everybody who's like part of the ecosystem is like friends of mine now too.
Working together, One AZ Credit Union. I mean, there's so many partners that end up doing stuff together because it's like work smarter, harder. And so many like what's really what I'm most proud of is like the team is really investing into building the relationships with these grant winners, and not just grant winners, but like it's the ones that are still in the ecosystem. How can we support your small business? Just, spreading the word. And then now they end up starting doing collaborations and working together. Or, hey, you have a tax guy? Yeah, we got a great tax guy. Or, talk to me about, capital. Oh, PayPal's in the room. Like, we collaborate over compete, right? So it's like bringing these entrepreneur orgs together, too, to help each other. There's plenty to go around for everyone. But there's so many examples that I'm not really thinking clearly on now. But, like, that's the cool. Is like, let's just put everyone into the room, and then next thing you know, they're all end up working together, becoming friends. Ginger CC, I mean, that's become great friends of you guys. A great local artist that like even Ironwill. Like I didn't get to know Ironwill till like last year, and then I was like, these guys are so freaking talented. People got to know about them. So like, you got to generally just have a heart to want to like highlight other people, and like whether it's Kelty on panel discussion or like other leaders or Chef Rene Bacanora, he was there last year and like told his story. Like it's just really freaking cool, and it fills my cup when you can like have a whole panel of marketing or legal, and you just have people from all different backgrounds and industries and like artists, futuristic, you go in one time and just talking about the business of music and like. Then it becomes relative to everybody, right? Yeah. And then like what's cool is then all these, we had Graham Rossini, the AD of ASU there last year, and like all these people like stay after and talk to people. You can't get, you pay for these type of tickets, and those are all free. So I think that's the power of what we're building, like a real genuine community that like gives the give, and with no strings attached. If you end up organically working together, cool, hell yeah. But like, it shouldn't be this hidden agenda of like, oh, I'm gonna be nice to heck because I want this, right? Like that's not my cup of tea.
No, 100%. Yeah, and I mean, just how you said, like, just being in that room and like noticing other people that are doing their thing. Yeah, it's cool just going in there, networking.
It's inspiring, man. There's so much talent in AZ, and there's a reason why, whether they're coming to Arizona or you're starting here and you got all these resources at your fingertips. Like, I like to always keep it real, and too, and like, hey, don't think just because you're starting a business you're going to go make millions of dollars, or it's going to be easy. You can go take trips whenever you want. Like, being real about it to make sure they're in on it for the long term. But man, I'm just so optimistic and excited about where our community's headed.
Yeah. No, I mean, I know you've built this powerhouse brand in Arizona, and what's next for you? Is there something that you have in the works, or are you wanting to just continue to grow this brand?
No, thanks. Appreciate that. I definitely don't think we're powerhouse yet, and I still think there's a lot of people who have no idea who we are. But what we're really focusing on, again, last couple of years was tough. We really invested a lot into retail, and then making that decision to close 3 out of 4 stores. It was one of the best decisions I've ever made, because the finances were saying, that wasn't even half our revenue that was coming in from retail. Why are you spending so much, time, people, inventory, rents, all that stuff that goes into that. Into retail, was bringing in half the revenue, when you could really be growing B2B. So we've really taken a step back to really create better, SOPs and just like, really get clear on our vision. And I've never been more optimistic. If we could just print most people's uniforms in Arizona, or even just some people's uniforms in Arizona, like behind the scenes stuff, that's the non-sexy stuff. Like, that's where we'll really take off. And then being much more intentional with like retail. Like, you've probably seen it from afar, but like, we're really, highlighting, trying to really just focus on highlighting the great people and places in Arizona. That's intentional collaborations with who's Marky, Vic, you name it, right? first responders. Like there's for us, it's got to be like an intention behind it. We just did a summer collection. It's beautiful, like artwork and garments. But like, if it's not a true like meaning behind it or purpose, like it just doesn't really hit. So like, my goal is like, if we could just do really dope, like one big collaboration a month, and then really have a dope collection around it. And why the B2B is really, funding everything else. So then retail becomes more intentional and fun.
Yeah.
Less stressful.
That's amazing. And now I kind of get a sense, because I didn't know that you guys did a drop every month. So you guys do
shit. I mean, in the past we did drops every week,
really?
And it was becoming like we're just doing it to always talk about something. And it actually was like hurting our business, because if you're always buying inventory, but you're not selling it enough, like you're stacking up inventory, and you're just like, so just trying to be better. It's hard. It's not perfect, but like the goal, like we probably do a couple drops now a month. Because there's always something to do, there's always something to talk about. But ideally, in the perfect situation, I would love to just do one really big intentional collaboration a month that we could just be talking about that. And it's not needing to create so much revenue on the retail side, but more of really the B2B behind the scenes, custom stories for other organizations, and then printing for other organizations. And we care about quality, we care about service. Like we really can grow substantially without even adding more overhead that way.
Yeah. No, well, I want to thank you for joining me on the podcast. It's been a good time. If you guys haven't followed yet, make sure you guys go follow State 48. Make sure you guys go check out the foundation, and make sure you guys leave a like on the page, comment. And follow Mike Spank. What's your? Is it just Mike Spank?
Yep.
Yeah. Make sure you guys follow Mike Spank. He does a lot of dope things, but again, make sure you guys go follow the foundation as well. And we'll catch you guys on the next one. Again, appreciate you for coming.
Appreciate you, man.
If you want to tell the audience anything before we...
No, you nailed it, man. Yeah, State 48 all spelled out, State 48 Foundation all spelled out. Those are our two handles. And yeah, if you want to follow me, awesome. But yeah, we love everyone in AZ, and we mean that. And we really just want to hope everyone can be successful and happy in life.
100%. All right, on that note, guys, we'll see you guys on the next one.
To the